Hi dear students, how are you? I hope all of you very nice. Children, up to previous videos we discussed about the first chapter. So I think we covered first chapter, and now this video onwards we are going to discuss about the second chapter in our 10th class syllabus. Children, in 10th class chemistry this is the one of the most important chapter, so that's why you have to follow all the coming videos. Children, the second chapter is here, chemical equations. So in this we have so many number of chemical reactions with different activities, and balancing of chemical equations most important in this chapter. So here in this video first we have to discuss about what is the difference between a physical change and chemical change. First we have to discuss about this one. Children, any one of you now only watching my channel, subscribe my channel to cover all the syllabus. Okay children, first thing is what is the difference between a physical change and a chemical change? For example, if anything changes occurred in a substance, then its color, its odor and its size will be changed. Then that kind of changes is called physical change. Only there is no change in properties of the substance. The changes which are occurred in the substance, they do not affect the properties of original substance. Just only color, size, odor should be changes like that. That kind of changes is called physical change. And chemical change, if any chemical reaction takes place, one substance is completely changes into another kind of substance. Here the new substance what it is formed, that is having some properties. The properties of the newly formed substance quite different from the properties of original substance. Clear? So children, ఒక సబ్స్టెన్స్లో ఏవైనా చేంజెస్ జరిగితే ఆ చేంజెస్ జరిగినప్పటికి కూడా ఆ సబ్స్టెన్స్ యొక్క ప్రాపర్టీస్ అనేవి మారకుండా ఉంటే దాన్ని ఏమంటారంటే ఫిజికల్ చేంజ్. క్లియర్? ఒక సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు బి అండర్ కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్. ఒక సబ్స్టెన్స్ అనేది కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్ జరిగినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే ఒక న్యూ సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. ఆ న్యూ సబ్స్టెన్స్ యొక్క ప్రాపర్టీస్ అనేవి ఓల్డ్ సబ్స్టెన్స్ యొక్క ప్రాపర్టీస్తో చాలా డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటాయి. So the substance is, the newly formed substance is different from the original substance. That kind of changes what we observe, that is called a chemical change. First you have to understand this one, what is mean by physical change and what is mean by a chemical change. A physical change can affect the only physical properties of the substance, but does not affect the properties of the original substance. Clear? So on board we have some examples at the children. Look at this one. Physical change. Physical change occur when there is a change in state, color and odor. Physical change occur when there is a change in state, color and liquid. When physical change happen, some changes are occurred in state, color and odor. State means it is solid, liquid or gases, and color will be changes, different colors, and odor, smell also changes. So maybe the properties of these only happen, but the original kind of properties are not changed in case of a physical change. In our daily life we can observe few things. Melting of ice. For example, we are taken ice cubes in a beaker. And we are slowly heating that. What it is, how to observe? That is melting, and that should be changed into liquid. Clear? So After that, again ice cubes are melted, then liquid is formed, and you can take in water in a beaker and that should be kept inside a deep freeze. Then what you observe, again ice can be formed. So in this case, what I am telling, when the water is kept inside the deep freeze, then what we get, again we are getting the properties of ice. That means in any process physical change occurred, then the properties of the original substance can be again reversible. ఐస్ క్యూబ్స్ని హీట్ చేసినాం, వాటర్ ఫామ్ అయింది, వాటర్ నుంచి హీట్ రిమూవ్ చేస్తున్నాం, ఐస్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. అంటే ఏంటి, ఫస్ట్ ఐస్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ సాలిడ్ స్టేట్ and water is in liquid state. That means what, only when we supply some heat, its state only changes. That's why here there is no change in properties of ice and water, almost the same, but their state only changes. This is the one example for the physical change. So in a physical change, the properties of original substance can be reversible. In a physical change process, the original properties should be taken reversible by physical methods. So on board we have some examples are there. Melting of ice. Look here children, reversible by physical methods. The properties of original substance can be reversible by physical methods, and melting of ice is the best example for that. Next thing is crushing of can. One can is there, that should be crushed, then its size only changes. Can is first one is large one size, if you can crush it like this, its size only changes, but the material do not change in their material. సో క్యాన్ పెద్దగా ఉంటుంది, దాన్ని క్రష్ చేశారు, సైజ్ చిన్నగా అవుతుంది, అంతే తప్ప దాంట్లో ఎటువంటి చేంజ్ ఉండదు. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ థింగ్ ఈస్ మిక్సింగ్ శాండ్ అండ్ వాటర్. Sand have particular properties and water also having some particular properties. So when they are individual, they have individual properties. If you can mix them, again you can separate the sand and water by physical methods, but there is no change in that one. And next thing is here dissolving sugar and water. So we are taken a glass of water, in that we are dropped some 1 or 2 spoons of sugar. So initially sugar crystals are like solid. So when the sugar crystals are placed in the glass of water and we stir it, after some time what we say, that is the sugar is dissolves in the water. After that you can have it, then what you observe, the water also now in the taste of sweet. So individually sugar is like sweet, sugar తీయగా ఉంటుంది. మనము షుగర్ని వాటర్లో డిజాల్వ్ చేసినప్పటికి కూడా, if you can take some of the liquid, you can feel some sweet. So the sugar crystals are turned into liquid, but it is not losing its properties. So this is simply about the children physical change. See once again, physical change means what? When physical change occur when there is change in state, color and order only. And now physical change is the reversible process, reversible by physical methods. Clear? So physical change is the reversible process. And next thing is examples are what given: melting of ice, crushing can, mixing sand and water, and dissolving sugar and water. So children, this is simply about the physical change. And next thing children, chemical change. I already told you what's that. When a chemical reaction takes place, the substances are completely converted into the new substances. For example, we have taken any kind of 2 substances. Clear? When these two, there is some reaction between the two substances, then we are getting some other compounds or other substances. So these newly formed substances and original substances having unlike properties. So in case of physical change, what I told you, the properties are reversible, but in case of a chemical change, it is the irreversible, because after chemical reaction, the substances which are formed, they have their own properties, they are not similar to the original substances. So you have to remember that. Okay children, look here. Now now new substances are formed with properties of unlike to those of original substances. Just now only told you, ఏమన్నాను, ఏవైతే న్యూ సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఫామ్ అవుతాయో ఆ న్యూ సబ్స్టెన్స్ అనేవి వాటి ప్రాపర్టీస్ అనేవి ఒరిజినల్ సబ్స్టెన్స్ యొక్క ప్రాపర్టీస్కి చాలా డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటాయి. అన్లైక్, దే డు నాట్ హ్యావ్ సేమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్. అండ్ చిల్డ్రన్, నౌ ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్ examples are given. We have some examples in our daily life. Process of respiration and process of digestion system and formation of curd and rusting of iron. So when we are exposed iron material to the vapor for a long time, the iron material is turned into the rust. So forming of rust is also chemical change. And formation of curd. So everybody know how the curd is prepared in our houses. So when we are adding some buttermilk to the heated milk, after some 12 hours we may get some curd. So the curd properties are different from milk and buttermilk. And now here, formation of curd and process of digestion system and process of respiration system. Children, process of digestion system or digestion, that should be clearly discussed in the chapter of next coming chapter, acids and bases and chapter ఉంటుంది, దాంట్లో క్లియర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఉంటుంది. జస్ట్ నౌ హియర్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద డైలీ లైఫ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఫర్ కెమికల్ చేంజ్. For example children, look here, C plus O2 gives rise CO2. This is another chemical change example. Here carbon is the solid, O2 is the oxygen gas, and again what we get, CO2 is the carbon dioxide. So the properties of carbon and oxygen both are different, and the newly formed substance is what? CO2. This CO2 also have different properties compared to the CnO2. So children, this is simply about the what is physical change and what is chemical change. Okay children, here now next thing is we have first thing here you have to know what is the chemical equation, how we can represent the chemical equation. So first we have to know about that one. Clear, what is the chemical equation? Children, here I am saying now a general equation, A plus B gives rise C plus D. A plus B gives rise C plus D. So it is simply a chemical equation. What is mean by chemical equation? And chemical equation represents what? A chemical reaction can represent the chemical reaction what it is going between the different substances, and a chemical equation completely shows that the reaction between the different kind of substances and which substances are going to be react together. After reaction, which substances are formed, that should be clearly given by a chemical equation. Clear, what is the necessity and what is the importance of chemical equation means that a chemical equation represents which type of substances are going to be participating in a chemical reaction, and after performing the chemical reaction what kind of substances are formed. That should be clearly explained by a chemical equation. Clear? That is the meaning of a chemical equation. Chemical equation ఇది ఏం తెలియజేస్తుందంట, అసలు ఏ సబ్స్టెన్స్ అనేవి మధ్య రియాక్షన్ జరుగుతుంది, రియాక్షన్ జరిగిన తర్వాత ఏమేమి ఫామ్ అయ్యాయి, ఎటువంటి సబ్స్టెన్సెస్ ఫామ్ అయ్యాయి, దాన్ని మనం సింపుల్గా ఒక కెమికల్ ఈక్వేషన్ ద్వారా మనం చూపించవచ్చు. దానికి ఇక్కడ ఒక జనరల్ ఈక్వేషన్, జస్ట్ ఇక్కడ ఏవి సబ్స్టెన్స్ కావు, మీకు అర్థం కావడం కోసం సింపుల్గా చెప్తున్నాను. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, A plus B gives rise C plus D, it is a chemical equation. So in that A and B are called reactants. What do you call? Reactants. Here A, the substance A and substance B are going to be participate in the chemical reaction. So the substances which are going to be participate in a chemical reaction, they can be called as the reactants. ఏవైతే కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయబోతున్నాయో వాటిని ఏమంటామంటే రియాక్టెంట్స్ అంటాం. క్లియర్ చిల్డ్రన్? సో A and B are called here reactants, and C and D are. So here there is some arrow mark, it is there, it is called gives rise. What it is? Gives rise. That can explains about the reaction. After reaction we are getting some C and D. What we are getting? C and D. Now C and D, these two are called products. What do we call? Products. C and D are called products. So A plus B gives rise C plus D. The reaction is formed between A and B. After reaction we are getting two new substances C and D. These C and D are called products. So in a chemical equation on LHS what do you have? Reactants. On LHS what do you have? Reactants. And on RHS what we call? Products. So you have to remember that, children. ఒక కెమికల్ ఈక్వేషన్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఏమున్నాయి, రైట్ సైడ్ ఏముంటాయి అనేది మీరు ఖచ్చితంగా తెలుసుకోవాలి. ఈ ఈక్వేషన్కి గివ్స్ రైస్ టు సింబల్కి లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఉన్న వాటిని ఏమంటారంటే రియాక్టెంట్స్ అంటారు, రైట్ సైడ్ ఉన్న వాటిని ఏమో ప్రొడక్ట్స్ అంటారు. సో ఇక్కడ ఏ అండ్ బీని ఏమన్నాం? రియాక్టెంట్స్ అంటున్నాం, సి అండ్ డీని ఏమంటున్నాం? ప్రొడక్ట్స్ అని అంటున్నాము. క్లియర్? అండ్ నౌ చిల్డ్రన్ లుక్ హియర్, నౌ C plus O2 gives rise CO2. C plus O2 gives rise CO2. And children, now here what is C? Carbon. It is a solid. And O2 is what? Gas. And CO2 is what? Carbon dioxide gas. Clear? So C plus O2 gives rise CO2. Now tell me now, children, in that equation what you understand? When a chemical reaction takes place between carbon and oxygen, when carbon and oxygen both are reacts together, then what we are getting? Carbon dioxide. What do we get? Carbon dioxide. So that's why here in this case C and O2 are given, C and O2 are taken as reactants and CO2 is the product. The properties of product is different from C and O2. And next, children, I will make one more example. H2 plus O2 gives rise H2O. Clear? So H2 plus O2 gives rise H2O. Balancing of equation let we discuss. Simply here what you understand? When hydrogen, oxygen reacts with what we get? Water molecule. Here these two are the gases. When gases are reacts together, what we are getting? Water molecule, liquid. So here the properties of H2O is different from H2 and O2. So children, these are the examples for chemical equation. And children, some of the activities given in our textbook as activity 1, activity 2, activity 3. So let us see. Children, in our textbook activity 1, activity 2, activity 3 given. They are about the few chemical reactions. So let's discuss about that. Children, first thing is reaction of calcium oxide with water. Here reaction of calcium oxide also called as quicklime. So children, here first we have to take the one beaker. In that beaker we have to add the some quicklime or calcium oxide we are taken. After that we have to add some water. We are taken a beaker. In that first we have to take the few amount of calcium oxide. In that we have to add the some quantity of water. So then after that you can touches the walls of the beaker. Then you can feel the heat. So first we are taken beaker and we added some calcium oxide, and after that we added some water. Then after few minutes you can touches the walls of the beaker, you may get heat. That can represent there is some chemical reaction takes place between the calcium oxide and water. So that can represent the formation of new substance. That substance is now here calcium hydroxide, CaOH taken twice. And children, here heat is liberated. That is the represents the exothermic reactions. In a chemical reaction where along with the products some more additional heat energy is liberated, that type of reaction is called exothermic reaction. So this is the chemical changes what you observed in the chemical reaction. So simply we are taken a beaker. In that we are taking some calcium oxide and water we are added. After that we are getting some compound, that is what? Calcium hydroxide. Along with that some heat is liberated. Children, body is not spacious, that's why I just here look at the equation very carefully. CaO plus H2O gives rise CaOH taken twice plus Q. Here Q means what? Here CaO, H2O are the reactants and product is what? CaOH taken twice. Along with the CaOH taken twice, some heat is liberated, that's why we can feel heat while we are touching the walls of the beaker. CaO plus H2O gives rise CaOH taken twice plus Q. Children, this is about the first activity in our textbook. And next thing children, reaction of sodium sulfate with the barium chloride. So children, first we have to prepare the solutions of Na2SO4, BaCl2. This is activity 2 in our textbook children. In our textbooks the diagrams very clear, just you have to observe it. Reaction of Na2SO4 with BaCl2. For that first we have to prepare the solutions of sodium sulfate and barium chloride. So children, here now we are taken first beaker A. In that we are taken some 100 ml of water. First what you have to take? We have to take some water. After that you have to add some amount of Na2SO4. And after that we are taken another beaker, and that should be again we are taken 100 ml of water. Then after that you have to add some amount of BaCl2 to the water. Now both solutions are prepared. Aqueous solution. Aqueous means we are having some water in the content. So we prepare the solutions of Na2SO4 and BaCl2. Very simple. We are taken 2 beakers. In every beaker we have to take 100 ml of water, and after that in the first beaker we have to add some amount of Na2SO4, and in the second beaker we have to add BaCl2. So after adding, that means here after preparation of solutions, here we have to mix these two in another beaker. ఈ రెండింటిని లేదా ఇలా సింపుల్గా Na2SO4ని BaCl2 అన్న పోయాలి, లేదా BaCl2 అయినా Na2SO4లో మిక్స్ చేయాలి. So one solution should be mixed into the another. After that, there is some chemical reaction takes place that should be given by the equation like this: Na2SO4 plus BaCl2, sodium sulfate plus barium chloride gives rise NaCl, sodium chloride plus barium sulfate. Here Na2SO4 is aqueous solution, simply here aqueous, and it is also aqueous, and NaCl also it is aqueous. So simply here I am showing initial one, Na2SO4 plus BaCl2 gives rise NaCl plus barium sulfate. Children, I am showing here it is downward. Here downward arrow represents the precipitate. What is that? Precipitate we get. So NaCl plus BaSO4 gives rise NaCl plus BaSO4. Here what it is? Downward arrow. Downward arrow represents what? Precipitate. So this is happening in case of the second activity. So when we are mixed together Na2SO4 and BaCl2, what do you get? NaCl, sodium chloride, and barium sulfate. Children, here you can observe here reactants are what? Na2SO4, BaCl2 are the reactants, and NaCl, BaSO4 are the products. The properties of these two are different from these two. So children, in our 9th class this is the example for displacement reaction. So first here look at here, Na2SO4, sodium combination is what? Sulfate. Here BaCl2, barium combination is what? Cl2. This is the example for displacement reaction, double displacement reaction. Na2SO4 is there and BaCl2 is there. Na combination is here what? SO4. Here BaCl2, Ba combination is what? Cl2. Now in products you have to observe, initially what you have, along with the sodium what you have? Sulfate. Now what you have? Cl. So SO4 is displaced to the Ba side and Cl is displaced to the Na side. That's why it is the example for double displacement reaction also. Clear? And third one, children. So for 2 marks question it is important and very easy one. Reaction of zinc with HCl. This is the shown in our textbook activity 3. So after watching this video, just you have to look at all the diagrams in the textbook. Here reaction of zinc with HCl. Now we are taking some conical flask. First we have to take some conical flask. In that flask, first we have to drop the zinc granules like small strips. We are taking some zinc granules and that should be placed in the conical flask, and after that you have to add the dilute HCl. What you have to add? Dilute HCl. So what I am showing here, this is what? Dilute HCl. Clear? We are taking some 10 grams of zinc granules and they should be placed in a conical flask, and after that we have to add the dilute HCl. Here dilute means what? The concentration is less. So after that we are adding these two, we can observe that some reaction takes place, some fumes are formed. So after that, to understand that is there any reaction is happened or not, just you have to take the one matchbox and you can lighting the one matchstick. So after that the lighting matchstick should be placed above that conical flask. That should be put off with pop sound. Tappana ayipotundi. So after that what it is that simply we are taking conical flask and after we are added some granules and after that we added some dilute HCl. After that, to understand that is there any reaction is happened or not, to simply here we have to take the burning matchstick that should be placed over the neck of the conical flask. After within fraction of seconds the burning matchstick should be put off. Why? Because there is some gas is liberated, and that gas, how we can say that that is hydrogen can only do that one. That's why here the gas liberated in between the reaction of zinc and HCl is hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas make to put off the burning matchstick or anything. So look here, the reaction between Zn and HCl should be shown like this. Zn plus HCl gives rise ZnCl2 plus H2. Here Zn is the zinc is granular solid and HCl is liquid. We are added some dilute HCl. After that, what we are adding? Zinc chloride we are adding, that is the solid, and plus hydrogen gas is liberated. So to understand that, gas should be always shown like upward arrow. So when zinc reacts with the HCl, what we are getting? Hydrogen gas and zinc chloride. So children, these are the reactions of chemical reactions in your textbook as activity 1, activity 2 and activity 3. సో మనకి దీంట్లో ఒక 1 మార్క్ క్వశ్చన్ 2 మార్క్స్ అడుగుతాడు. విచ్ గ్యాస్ ఈజ్ లిబరేటెడ్ వెన్ జింక్ అండ్ HCl ఆర్ రియాక్ట్ టుగెదర్ అని అడుగుతాడు. సో అడిగినప్పుడు ఏం చెప్తాం? H2 ఈజ్ లిబరేటెడ్. హౌ వీ కెన్ సే లైక్ దట్ అన్నప్పుడు ఏం చెప్పాలి? మండుతున్నటువంటి అగ్గిపుల్లని తీసుకుపోయి ఆ కొనికల్ ఫ్లాస్క్ పైన నుంచితే ఏమవుతుంది? అది ఒకేసారి పాప్ అని సౌండ్ చేస్తూ ఆరిపోతుంది, పుట్ ఆఫ్. సో I think this is the what the chemical, what is the physical change and what is the chemical change and what is mean by chemical equation and what are the examples for different kind of chemical reactions. Children, I hope you understand. ఒకసారి ఈ 3 యాక్టివిటీస్ చూసిన తర్వాత మీ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్లో డయాగ్రామ్స్ ఉంటాయి, వాటిని చూడండి. ఆ రియాక్షన్స్ అక్కడ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్లో ఈ రియాక్షన్స్ ఉండవు, ఈ రియాక్షన్స్ మీరు అక్కడ ప్రతి యాక్టివిటీ దగ్గర మెన్షన్ చేసుకోండి. Clear children? So I hope you understand. If you can understand this one, like, share, comment the video and subscribe our channel to your friends also. We will meet in the next topic with other some interesting topic. Bye, take care.